City News on TV Rotorua is proudly brought to you by Trade Central.
Tēnā koutou katoa tonight on City News. The international mentoring program Big Brothers Big Sisters held their official launch last night at Council. Old bikes and bike parts are needed for a proposed bike tree installation, and more versatile use of our sporting venues is the aim of Sport and Recreation Portfolio Lead, Councillor Charles Sturt. Local social services representatives, police, Rotorua Lakes councillors and dignitaries gathered last night for the official launch of the international mentoring program Big Brothers Big Sisters.
It's lovely that we're all here because this is a very, very significant event. It's so significant to put my chains on for you because this hasn't been a quick thing to find the right way that we are going to do it the Rotorua way. And actually, if you look around the room, you should all look at one another because you're the movers and shakers for the community heart in our community. And that's what you've managed to put together, and I'm not going to acknowledge them on here, it's your job, Robin, but you've managed to put together with your steering committee amazing people in our community that value this work, this mahi that we're launching here today, and that's very important.
Rotorua coordinator Daryl Parker says since starting late last year he had trained 12 mentors and now is hoping to get 20 matches by the end of the year.
I work for the police, I work with troubled youth. There was no mentoring of this type available, long-term, consistent, ongoing mentoring. So I went on and joined that steering committee because I saw that it was a real need, the lack of these role models for kids and teenagers. So, and a lot of other people had that same heart. That's what brought that group of people together.
Daryl, what exactly do we mean by Big Brothers, Big Sisters? It's basically mentoring in inverted commas?
Yeah, it is. And I think it talks about the simplicity of the relationship. We're not asking people to fix kids, counsel kids or do things like that. We're just going in there, asking them to go in and just be that person who's there, gets to know them, shares some activities and becomes a person of trust.
Rotorua Lakes Council is on the search for old bikes and bike pieces to help construct a giant bike tree, an art installation to be set up on the village green to coincide with Crankworks Rotorua. The council has procured a 7-metre high galvanised steel framework for the tree from Child Fund New Zealand, who last year set up their Christmas tree of bikes on Queen's Wharf in downtown Auckland. Rotorua Lakes Council Project Coordinator Bridget Nielsen says if enough bikes and parts were donated, the tree would be assembled and installed at the village green near the lakefront, a spot lit at night for the duration of Crankworks. Anyone needing more information can contact Bridget Nielsen at Rotorua Lakes Council. The Rotorua branch of the Open Home Foundation is seeking more families who may be interested in becoming foster parents. Manager Natasha Chansey says families can opt for full-time fostering or provide weekend respite for unsupported parents. She says the rewards are numerous for the families and children fostered.
Oh, we've had lots of success stories. A lot of the success stories we have are children that drift in care. So we do have children that jump from foster placement to foster placement, unfortunately. For all sorts of reasons, children do that. Sometimes we will get a phone call from Child, Youth and Family saying we need a home for a child. Our foster families work alongside those children and the placement seems to smooth out for some reason. We often hear of children that have drifted in care come under our organisation into one of our families and the placement is smoothed out and the child transforms pretty much. Yeah.
In sport tonight, Rotorua Lakes Council Sport and Recreation Portfolio Lead Councillor Charles Sturt says more sporting events like the recent Vodafone Warrior NRL trial need to be held here in the city.
9,587 people turned up huge crowd. Send some messages out to the Bay of Plenty Rugby Union that, hey, Rotorua is not dead in terms of sporting facilities and getting good crowds. You put the product up, we'll come. We've got the Magic coming. We've got the Bulls versus the Chiefs coming in May. So what we need to do is get these facilities gone, in my view, are the days that one particular sporting facility is only for one sport. Because of the costs involved, we've got to open up all our sporting facilities for whoever wants to use them.
And we have an in-depth interview with Councillor Sturt coming up in tonight's show. To your weather update now. Tonight, fine spells, the odd shower, light winds, overnight a low of 12. Tomorrow Wednesday, fine spells, afternoon shower, light winds, a high of 24 and low of 12. Looking out to Thursday, fine spells, afternoon shower, light winds, a high of 24 and low of 14. Marine forecast for Lake Rotorua for Wednesday, variable 5 knots, low waves, fine with the odd shower possible. Still to come tonight on City News, we have more from Councillor Charles Sturt on issues facing Rotorua Lakes Council, and we're at Agro Ventures to find out about Locals Weekend.
City News on TV Rotorua is proudly brought to you by Trade Central.
So we're here on the TV Rotorua couch just relaxing with one of our councillors, Charles Sturt, who has the Sports and Recreation Portfolio lead. Thank you so very much for popping up and joining us today, Charles.
Not a problem. I always enjoy coming to TV Rotorua, keeping in touch with the community.
Very good. We'd like to hear that. Now, Charles, can we please have a background on what your role is?
In September last year, Stevie Chadwick asked me if I would step up to be the Sport and Recreation lead. So I've taken it with both hands. We've engaged the community, invited all sporting groups in over 2 nights, got their views on what the issues are with their particular sports, affordability of venues, access to venues, whether we need more venues. One little thing that we'd overlooked was water fountains in parks. You know, just one small issue. So what we've been doing is we're engaging an outside company to do a sport and recreation strategy. We've involved Sport New Zealand, Te Papa Tākaro, Tipu Ora. We've involved a myriad of community organisations who deliver sport, the Sports Bay of Plenty, the whole lot, so that we can get the views. We're having a presentation at a next meeting from someone who specialises in providing sport and recreation facilities for disabled people. So we've got to do the whole gambit. We're talking about preschool right through to the elderly and trying to provide a sport and recreation strategy that covers all bases.
Wow.
It's a big ask, it's a big task, a lot of organisations involved, and we've formed a Sports and Recreation Advisory Committee, and we've targeted certain individuals from rugby league, rugby, soccer, netball, mountain biking, all sorts of sports, basketball, to come onto an advisory committee. When they walk in the door, they're there for sport and recreation, not for their particular sport. And it's just amazing. We've got people from rugby league who've never talked to the rugby people, and yet they have now. Mm-hmm. And the bringing together of ideas and where we should head, that's the next task, is getting it all together, putting it out to the community for discussion, and then having some runs on the boards in terms of what we want to achieve and have a plan over the next 10 years of where we want to head. One of the big issues we've had is affordability, particularly for the local users. Yes, it is an issue, it is a problem, and we're going to address that. There have been suggestions that maybe we form a charitable trust to take philanthropic donations, you know, from NZCT, the Rotorua Energy Charitable Trust, Lion Foundation, etc., to assist these local community clubs and organisations so that they can hold the netball at the Energy Event Centre. so that the performing arts can go to the Sir Howard Morrison Performing Arts Centre, etc., but and not be burdened with the cost, because there's a commercial element in those venues, and a commercial rate, and there should be a local rate which is a lot cheaper. But the challenge our staff have got is that it still costs the same to run the centre, whether it's a business or the Magic netball team. You know.
So how do you make it more accessible?
Well, that's what we've got to do, is find a way to make it affordable and accessible. I mean, we've got a lot of runs on the board already. We're working with Rugby League. We're putting a multi-use toilet facility out there, because many a time I drive out Tino Road and there's thousands and thousands of young ones playing Rugby League, and they're all doing what's-the-names in the bushes. So that's just not on. It's just not a good look. So because Puketewhero is an enclosed ground, they've got their toilets inside, but there's nothing outside. So we're going to have public combined toilet facility for both. We're putting drinking fountains in some of our major parks. One of the big success stories has been Karenga Park in Kotu, where the community out there said what they wanted in their park. Council then put the money aside and designed it. It is unbelievable, the usage of that park. But we forgot to put a drinking fountain. We've put a barbecue in. We've put all those facilities, basketball nets and all sorts of things. But just that one thing, that water fountain. So we're working on that at the moment with Janet Wepper.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, I'm not too sure whether sports and recreation quite embodies all the vastness of what it is that you need to...
Where it starts and where it ends, that's the big dilemma. I mean, because there's a social component in things, there's a community sustainability issues, which is Janet Wepper's area, but we've come together. They also wanted a major fountain at the volcanic park down at the lakefront, so we've found some funding. I've got a $50,000 budget. We've found some funding within that to make things happen.
Yes, and I know my son, because we live out Puketewhero area, so we're from that area, and he's quite an avid skateboarder and scooter rider, and he goes, it's not fair. We need a bigger skate park like the town.
Tell your son he's going to get one, because we've been working with the Makaurau Community Association. We targeted 4 youth spaces. There was Nongatau, Western Heights, Mamaku's now come into the play, Kotu and Fordlands. And sort of, we had no money left over to do Eastside, so one of my first things was to work with the community association out there, and you'll see developments now in conjunction with that public toilet. It's going to be right by the skate park, so they can go in there, and when the ground's open, they can close off the public side and everybody use it, sort of thing. And we're also working with the community association in terms of what the young people out there want in their park, because their needs are different to the people in Mamaku, different demographic, you see.
Wow, that's good. So incorporating all the demographics and incorporating all the age groups and
what they need.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Maybe your portfolio should just say superhero.
No. There's a lot of people doing a lot of work behind the scenes. I'm just the person trying to bring it all together. But I've had huge support from Her Worship the Mayor, Deputy Mayor Dave Donaldson, and the other members of council. They realise it's a big task. I'm actually enjoying it far better than ever being chairman of finance or anything like that, because I'm out with the people finding out. Oh, the other thing we did, I forgot to tell you, over the Christmas New Year period, we employed 2 students, and they're Rotorua kids. And they went out to all of sport and recreation. They went out to Hamarana Reserve, found out what people were doing, why they were doing it, and what they believed they needed in their park.
Wow, very nice. Okay, so we'll come back after the break with that story. We'll get some more in depth for you. So you stay right there, and you stay right there, Rotorua. We won't be too long. So welcome back. Again, we're joined on the TV Rotorua couch with Charles Sturt, whose portfolio seems to be quite vast and there's a lot involved. But I'm quite interested to hear about the 2 students that were employed and why they were employed.
Well, we thought we'd employ 2 local university students from a local perspective. One was at John Paul College and the other one went to Western Heights before they went to university. So they had an appreciation of what was out there. We gave them a portfolio in terms of what the engagement should be and how it should. The first person they talked to at Waipa Village was a lecturer from Auckland University on marketing, so he guided them in terms of how they approach the questions and that. But they've been out there, even out there today. They've been going out to all the sport and recreation parks when they've been used, asking people what their expectations are, why they're there, how often do they go there, are there any needs and requirements, because some parks are for youth, some parks are accommodation of youth and preschoolers, and you're trying to cater for, so you've got to try and work these things around. So it's all dollar driven, of course, but hey, we've got to find out what we need out there.
Absolutely. So talk to us about the Council Representation Committee.
Yeah, I've been elected by my colleagues with Merapeka Raukawa and Councillor Tania Tapsell. The good, the bad and the ugly, they call us. I'm probably the bad. But, no, I'm probably the ugly. I don't know who the bad is. No, Merapeka, no. Yes, and we're charged with looking at how we vote, how many councillors. We can bring the issue of Maori wards. Although we've already made that decision, for future elections we can get the public's opinion in terms of that. The actual method of voting, whether it's online or a combination of online and postal, etc., etc., and where Rotorua should head over the next 5 to 10 years in terms of its representation. Yeah. This is a separate kaupapa altogether to the Te Arawa proposal. The Te Arawa proposal is just for Te Arawa. This representation review is for the whole district.
I see. Okay. So how's Green Corridor coming along? It started today.
It started today, and there's going to be a bit of disruption in Kudo Park. What we want to do is link the current cycleway that goes through Kawa Point behind the Waikiri club rooms out to Nongata and link that with the city through the Green Corridor. Yes, there's going to be a disruption to some of the parking, but hey, this is a new concept. I mean, we've got buildings in the CBD in Rotorua that will not be there in 5 years' time because they can't comply with the earthquake requirements. So what are they going to just stand there derelict? I mean, what we're trying to do is create some green corridors within the CBD and integrate the CBD with, with flows, like we've got the view shaft down to Tanakai Street right to the lake, and the green corridor is going to link our major park, which is Kudo Park, with the Rotorua Government Gardens. And so a lot of people, the people that are coming to Rotorua and our locals are on bikes now. They want to walk, they're fitness conscious, and we've got to provide things for all people. Now, this is just not a visitor industry thing, this is a local thing as well. I mean, we don't see many tourists biking out to Nongata on the railway line, but we see a lot of our locals. And if they can bike into town, do their shopping and bike back out, hey, that's good for fitness, it's good for health, it's good for everything. And one of my other roles is on the area health board, the Lakes District Health Board, and I raised this issue in terms of green prescriptions and a healthier lifestyle that people want to grasp, and we should make those facilities available for them. So in the sport and recreation, together with the CBD revitalising, so you can see there's all sorts of crossovers with the portfolios, but as long as we keep in touch with what's happening with each other, things will get done.
Absolutely brilliant. So for 2015, what are some of the areas that you're just passionate about?
Well, I want to see bigger events here. Already we've just had announced yesterday that the Trans-Tasman Secondary School Championships will be here in March. We've had the Warriors. That was an absolutely fantastic weekend, and all credit to the council events and venue staff. It was them who put on the event, not the Warriors. It was Rotorua District Council staff that put that event on, and we took the risks. 9,587 people turned up. Huge crowd. Send some messages out to the Bay of Plenty Rugby Union that, hey, Rotorua is not dead in terms of sporting facilities and getting good crowds. You put the product up, we'll come. We've got the Magic coming. We've got the Bulls versus the Chiefs coming in May. So what we need to do is get these facilities gone, in my view, are the days that one particular sporting facility is only for one sport. Because of the costs involved. We've got to open up all our sporting facilities for whoever wants to use them.
Absolutely. Look, so thank you so very much for your time. Thanks for the update. Thanks for the rundown. And I look forward to chatting with you more in the future.
Oh, I'd love to come in and share what's happening, because Rotorua is on the move.
Cool. Look forward to having you back on the TV Rotorua couch.
Not a problem.
Oh my goodness, didn't that look like a thrill? But guess what, Rotorua, you're about to become a VIP. Here to tell us how and why is Mary Tolley, the marketing manager down here at Agro Ventures. Thank you for having us, Mary.
No worries.
Oh my gosh, I'm quite excited actually. I'm looking forward to being a VIP, but can you tell me why and how?
We see the local community, Rotorua locals, as our ambassadors, so we take that quite seriously, and it's a really good opportunity for us to give back to the community, and also an opportunity for us to update everybody on what we're up to and get them involved in the rides, and get them amongst it, and have a whole weekend where it's all about them. So
a whole weekend where it's all about us. So what do we get to enjoy?
We've got all the rides. We've got the swoop, which is the only swing of its kind in the country. We've got a 43-metre bungee jump. We've got the shui, which is the only human-powered monorail racetrack in the world. We've got the freefall extreme, which is the only outdoor wind tunnel in the country, and of course the agrojet that started it all, which is the only jet sprint of its kind in the North Island. So all the rides are $10, and bungee jumping is $50 this weekend. So
that is brilliant. Now it's very, very generous, because this is an annual event, isn't it?
it is, yes.
Yeah, and why?
We find it every year we need to update the public, and it's just a really good opportunity, like I said, to bring the community together and celebrate what has been a great summer, and will continue on to be a great year. So.
Okay, so just for our locals that didn't catch that date, Mary, can you please just let us know once again what day?
So it's Saturday the 28th of February and Sunday the 1st of March.
Oh, that is so exciting. From what time?
From 9 a.m. till 5 p.m.
So for our locals that haven't attended one of these special VIP nights before, weekends before, tell us, how is it set? Are we going to have to bring our own blankets, our own sausages? What is it happening?
We've got a lot of food vendors on site, so there will be all sorts of different options there. We provide music and entertainment throughout the couple of days, and a majority of the focus is on the rides. So it's about them coming in, providing a proof of residency, and taking advantage of the $10 rides, basically. So it's normally $50 and $100 for bungee. So just to show you the amount that it's discounted. So becomes a very busy day, and the first year we ran it was about 700 to 800 rides per day. So it's a busy day, so get out here early, as early as you can, but in saying that, it's still busy in the early morning. So prepare sort of half a day and come and stick around and check it out.
Absolutely. Thank you so very much for that. So there you have it, from the 28th to the 1st of March, 28th of February, 1st of March.
Yes.
Come down to the Rotorua Agro Ventures, where they're going to treat you like a VIP, Rotorua.
So make sure to get out to Agro Ventures this weekend for those great deals. That was Mary Tolley talking with Melanie Groves. If you have a news story, call the station on 0734 88984 or email news@tvirotorua.co.nz. Thanks for watching tonight from all the team here at City News. Ko Mārie.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
City News on TV Rotorua was proudly brought to you by Trade Central.